Hey guys, and welcome back. It's Grant Broggi from the Strength Coach. And today we're in beautiful Western North Carolina, somewhere, Glenville, and I'm gonna show you a micro home gym. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Been in Western North Carolina for the past few days, fly fishing with my mom and my dad and my 8-month pregnant wife, hiking around. We've been here before. If you haven't watched the deadlift video in the meadow, go check it out. We're at Big Ridge Mountain Club, and one of the things I like about this place, well, let's back up a minute. I'm on vacation, and yet what did I do? I still trained, and I wanna show you the micro gym that they have here. Let's go inside. All right, so this is the door to the gym. Pretty cool little spot. Come in, and I wanna show you how little you need. Let me open this side here. So this is the gym. This is a micro home gym, and it's very similar in size to a one-car garage. And I'll actually show you, one-car garage is generally right at 11 feet wide. And here, he's at 11 feet. So 11 feet wide is like the minimum you need for your power rack. A power rack, remember, a barbell is 7 foot 2 inches wide, but you need some space on either side. So if you have a one-car garage, you have a big enough area for a gym. Now, obviously the camera woman is in front of me and I'm standing here at the front of the gym. So all this space here doesn't really matter. What really matters is what's the total footprint to get what you need to get strong. And to the edge of his final mat out here, it's 92 inches, just over 7 feet. So 11 feet wide by 8 foot deep is about all you really need in order to have enough space for a home gym. So let's go over equipment. He's got an R3 rack. There's no need in naming the company that makes the R3 rack, but it's an R3 rack. No, I kid, I have these racks in my gym. I'm actually a big fan. They're 32 inches in depth. They don't take up a ton of space. They're super simple. The hole spacing's great. You need good hole spacing if you want to have a home gym. Because you need to be able to set your spotters. If you're in a home gym, you're probably training by yourself, so you want something with options. Okay, so let's go and do his plates next. And one of the things I want you to see about this gym is like all the unique ways everything is stored. And that is important if you want to save space and you have a small space. If you take up the whole thing and your wife can't park your car, she's gonna be ticked. So let's look at his plate storage. Okay, so unique home gym. I love stuff where you do it yourself when you build it. Actually, one of our most popular videos is how to build a bench that we made back in 2020. Check that video out. But he's got a wooden made, just easy vertical plate storage. He's got some beautiful Strength Coach cast iron plates. I want to bring a little something to your attention really quick. If you look there, right there, it's rust. Grant, they're E-coated. They're not supposed to rust. This is surface rust. If I grab a rag, actually I could probably just do it with my fingernail. Yep, I can. This rust will come right off and you'll still see the E-coat. We are in an uninsulated garage or underneath the house. Water comes down a little bit when it rains, so there's condensation in here. It snows here in Western Carolina, so you will get a little surface rust. If you care about your plates, you'll come out here, you'll look for any small spots, you'll grab a wet rag, your fingernail, maybe a little brush, and it will come right off. At the same time, it doesn't affect too much. But for those that worry, when they say, Grant, there's a little rust on my plates, it's okay. He's also got some bumpers. I won't pull those out. We don't need to go over that brand. Strength has some new bumpers coming out that you need to check out. But I think every home gym mainly needs cast iron, but a little bit of rubber is nice. It's gonna be a little bit quieter. It's gonna give you some options for maybe doing power cleans in your mom's backyard, or maybe someone deadlifting that's not very strong yet. So I think a set of 45s, 25s, and 10s in conjunction with your cast iron is really all you need. Okay, continuing on, he's got the Strength Coach collars right here. Cool fact about the R3. If you have an R3 rack, collar storage, just like that. They clamp right there, you keep them there for life. All right, moving on. If you have an R3 rack or you have any rack where it comes with these pegs or pins, as you've already seen when I alluded to these plates, he's got these pins. People want you to like put them through the hole and hook up all these bands and do all this silly nonsense. You know I'm not a silly nonsense guy. All you really need to do is the big lifts. So my friend here has his plates stored up, his micro plates or his change plates up on the top here, and that pin's plenty long. So he's got two little wood setups, showing that one over there. Boom, come back out. He's got two little wooden vertical storage racks. He's got his change plates up on the top. And in total, I think he has like 532 pounds. I lifted it up on that hill. Show the video, show the video. For most people, that's gonna be plenty. And guess what? If you need a little bit more weight, another pair of 45s, he's got room if he wants to move around some bumpers. and he can add it into his little wooden storage. All right, let's check out his barbells. I know, this guy clearly needs a barbell upgrade, but no, I want you to see his storage rack. This is made from wood, pretty simple, but if you're not handy like this man is, and you need to buy this, there's plenty of companies you can buy it on Amazon that make a little wall mounted so that you can hang your barbells vertically. He's got a training bar here, or a women's bar here, 33 pounds, as well as a full-size 45-pound barbell. They're stored on the wall and they're out of the way. Okay, back here. What am I a huge fan of? I'm a huge fan of Massonomics. I've already said it a few times. And the Drink Spotter Lite, or the Drink Spotter Original. I'm kind of a fan of the original. I like the OG stuff. But look at this magnet. Look at this dog bowl for water, cat bowl probably. Boom, there you have it. Now, this is not fixing drink safety at all, by any means. Drink safety is important, but it is useful for stuff like liquid chalk. I'm not a huge liquid chalk fan, but I used it last night pulling heavy and it worked just fine. But again, some other storage on your rack. We sell the micro peg that goes on for your really small change plates. Just remember, magnets are your friend. Okay. This guy, when he built this gym, he originally had a wooden bench in here, but different people come to the mountains and different people have different tastes. Some people are highfalutin, you know, they like nice stuff. So one of his members said, Jeff, you gotta buy a nicer bench. I don't know the model number. I'm not a complete home gym nerd. That's not what I do, but this is the Rep adjustable bench ones. I think our friends at Massonomics, look, I'm wearing the tee and everything, have a video on this very bench. Adjustable bench allows you to do a bunch of stuff. But look back here at what he's done. So I always tell people you need at least 18 inches behind the rack to the wall so that someone can stand behind you while you're benching and spot you. If you so have the opportunity to have an intelligent bench press spotter. He's got 20 inches, what do you know? So when he puts his bench up, or if he's squatting, he can just take his bench. And I gotta say, wheels are your friends here. Wheels are your friend here. These like heavy, nice benches that you nerds do when you're doing your curls and stuff. They're so heavy. If you get a regular flat bench, it's like, I don't know, 15 pounds. But anyway, goes right back there. You can squat in here and you can do whatever you need with your bench store. Also, as you can see right here on this clip, I used it last night to hold up my laptop as I worked out on Zoom. I coach guys on Zoom. If you need some coaching, check out our Zoom stuff. The link is in the description. Okay, this R3 rack has a pull-up bar. One of the things you're gonna need to look at, if you're in a one-car garage, which this technically isn't, we are in a basement. Yes, this is a basement gym, not a garage gym. Is if you're gonna do pull-ups, you need to pay attention to the pull-up bar height versus the ceiling height. It was nice in here. I did pull-ups. I had plenty of room where I could come all the way up, do full range of motion, and not worry about hitting my head. I have an old video, one of my first YouTube videos. I think it's 2016, right here. You can go watch it, where I showed you my one-car home gym in Costa Mesa, California. I could do pull-ups on it, but I had to be between the rafters, and it was always in my head, and it was kind of a pain. So if that's an issue for you, you might want the R3 Shorty rack, so that you can just bend your legs and not be hitting the ceiling. But pay attention to your ceiling height. Another thing about ceiling height is if you need to overhead press. I personally cannot overhead press in here. There's not enough space. I could maybe if there wasn't some storage stuff up here, but I would run out of space, and you may run out of space. So if you're running a program like Starting Strength, be like my 6'3" brother in his one-car garage in Cheverly, Maryland. He just sits down on the bench and he does a seated press. Is it perfect? Is it the program? No, it's a little bit different, but sometimes you have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay, now remember, if you have a home gym, whether it's in a basement or a garage, you're probably a prepper, getting ready for the end time. So make sure you have your arsenal. You never know who's coming to find you. Black bears, grizzly bears, wild elk, the government, people are after you. So make sure you stay strapped. That's not why I'm over here though. I wanna show you something I've never seen before that I think is really cool. So this little doohickey right here, it's a piece of wood. Very clearly this guy is good with woodworking. This swivels, and then he just has your standard iPhone holder on the top. So you can take this and put your phone in, and then when you wanna film your lifts, zoom in on that, walk up. How cool is that right there? No, this is not my phone. I'm not transitioning, it's my mother's. But you can see it right there, puts up in there. Set up your phone correctly. If you're gonna film yourself lifting, whether you're posting yourself for all your fans that you have, or you're trying to ask me to coach you for free on X, you can do that, Grant SSC, or you have a coaching service that you're uploading videos to, film in a place where the coach can actually see your lifts. I thought this was a super unique design that I've never seen. Gives you a bunch of options. You don't have to have that, but highly recommend it. Yeah, speaking of which, my mom trained in here the other morning, but she didn't know about this little doohickey. That's the official doohickey. That's what we're gonna call them. If I can get Jeff to mass produce them, they'll be on the store, just search doohickey. But her video was kind of at a weird angle because she didn't have that, but great little feature. Okay, flooring. We didn't cover flooring. A little bit different than what I would usually do here. This is the diamond plate 3/4 inch stall mat. I personally don't really like the diamond plate because the bar can like go over that, and I like the smooth surface. I will say though, I deadlifted in here last night, 475 for 5, and it didn't bother me a bit. And for all I know, he has a little bit of a slope in here. I don't know, but he could. But if you're in a garage, you most likely do. So a lot of people in garages, we get a question all the time, what do I do if it's sloped? What do I do if it's that? What I always tell them for the squat rack is if you're sloped down out where the car is gonna drive in from, which most garages are, take your squat rack and face away from that and wear a squat shoe, and now you're gonna be just fine. If you're deadlifting, a diamond plate mat like this might make sense. Instead of the bar constantly rolling away from you, these little ridges will be just enough to keep it from rolling. And again, you can face away, you can wear your deadlift shoes while deadlifting, and now you'll have essentially a flat, flush floor. Now, another thing that he did here, a unique thing, he cut out the rubber to put in the feet of his R3, which I highly, highly recommend. What do you see right here? What do you see right here? Those are bolts. Yes, he drilled into the foundation of his house. Can you believe it? How is this possible? I hope his foundation isn't ruined. Listen, you can put a 2-inch lag bolt into concrete. It's not hard. You can go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. Support Home Depot. Get a power impact drill. You can rent it for like $20. Drill 4 holes, whatever you need. You don't need to use every single one. He used 3 here, but you can just do it with 2 right here on the front and on the outside, and that thing will be super stable. Grab your concrete screws, have an impact drill. You can rent that too. The whole rental process might cost you $100, and this thing will be secure. Trust me. You will thank me that you drilled into concrete, and no, you're not going to ruin your house. And guess what? If you're renting, do it anyway. And when you leave, just go to Home Depot again and get a little Quikrete and fill it up. No one will know. But of course, check with your HOA, check with all the standards, check with the government. Make sure it's okay before you drill into your concrete. Okay, last thing. Look at this little wooden deadlift wedge. Again, this guy's handy. You may not be handy. That's what we're here for. The Strength Co. Go on. Go to equipment and more. Leather deadlift jack, same concept. You can roll the bar up, the plate can rest here, and you can load it. Do I prefer a deadlift jack that we also make on the store? Yes, I do. But again, if you're tight on space, that's why I only make the one-sided one. Can you imagine having a big 2-sided monstrosity in here? The one-sided is better for home gym users, but a little wedge, leather, wood, rubber, whatever, works just fine. Okay, last thing for this gym that I want you to think about is the spacing. So I mentioned 11 feet wide. That gives you enough room on the sides to be able to load plates comfortably and not be banging up against the wall. And I said 8-foot depth. You really only need as far as the inside of this, the outside of this rack, because you could squat inside the rack, you could bench inside the rack. You probably need a place to press, so you might need a little bit more room. But what I want to call to your attention is you can just remove your safeties on either side. And when it's time to deadlift, you can deadlift right inside the rack. So if you're tight on space, you really don't even need that whole 8 feet. The 8 feet will save you some time. But when you're buying your stall mats, it'll help you just set up better. But if you're really tight, you can really do this much better, or you can do this with less space than you think you need. Okay, last thing to the last thing. You might be saying to yourself, but Grant, they make those super cool squat racks. They fold up against the wall and they fold out. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the PRX or whatever the brand is. It doesn't matter. This company makes one too. Here's why. Because everyone buys it and thinks they're gonna fold it up when they're done and then drive their car in, and no one does. I know this because I watch tons of home gym videos and it's always out. You wanna know the other problem? Is that those things get bolted to the wall and they're standoff from the wall, and now it's hard to get behind them to do it, but what do you still need? Now the uprights are out here. I don't know the depth and the specifications. I'm sure other home gym nerds have done videos on it, but now you have to have spotter arms on the outside. And so the footprint almost remains the same. And then you have spotter arms that you have to think about storage for, and you won't have a place to hang your shovel and your axe and whatever else you need on the ranch, or you're gonna have to think about where to store that stuff. So I'm not a fan of the fold outs. I think they almost use up more space. A standard power rack doesn't have to be this brand, doesn't have to be this one, but this size works just fine. All right, there you have it. The Micro Gym home gym review. Everything you need to get strong. Remember, you don't need a bunch of other stuff. You don't need pulley machines. You don't need leg extensions. You don't need the drink holder. I'm not talking about the Massonomics Drink Spotter Lite. You definitely need that. That's the only thing this gym is missing. I mean, the GHD thing. Are those nice to haves? Do you have a big space? Sure, but really, to get strong and stay fit, you need a barbell, plates, and a place to do the lifting, and it doesn't have to be huge. Hope this video helps. If it does, like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.